Chapter 3025 begins with Carrie greeting Riley with a practiced smile, masking her underlying anxiety. As Riley introduces Cameron as the eldest daughter of the Newman family and the second young mistress of the York family, Carrie recognizes Cameron and recalls a previous encounter in a bookstore. Despite her nervousness, she manages to maintain her composure, though she is internally rattled by Cameron's familiarity with her voice. Cameron, on the other hand, remains calm and poised, expressing that Carrie's voice sounds strikingly similar to that of her estranged half sister. This observation unsettles Carrie, who is reminded of the past where she often tormented Cameron. Her fear of being recognized by Cameron is palpable, and she is now living under the identity of Mrs. Lamb, a role that comes with its own set of pressures and dangers. The tension in the conversation is heightened by Cameron's subtle probing, as she indirectly suggests that Carrie's voice and even her body shape resemble her sister's. Carrie, struggling to maintain her facade, tries to dismiss the comparison, feigning ignorance and downplaying after past encounters. However, the undercurrent of their shared history runs deep, and Cameron's gentle yet pointed remarks about the similarity in voice and appearance keep Carrie on edge. The conversation takes a turn when Cameron mentions that she and her sister have a strained relationship, implying that her sister would avoid any event where Cameron is present. This remark stings Carrie, as it indirectly challenges her sense of superiority over Cameron, which she had always held until despite the shifting power dynamics. Her internal monologue reveals her deep seated resentment and jealousy towards Cameron. She resents Cameron's rise to power as the second young mistress of the York family and her control over the Newman family's business, which has left Carrie in a much diminished position. The conversation continues with Carrie, attempting to regain her footing by suggesting that Cameron's sister avoids her due to Cameron's strictness. This subtle jab is meant to undermine Cameron, but it is met with a calm and measured response. Cameron clarifies that it is not her strictness that drives her sister away, but rather the guilt her sister feels for past wrongdoings. This statement further unsettles Carrie, as it brings to the surface the guilt and shame she carries from her past actions. The chapter paints a vivid picture of the psychological tension between the two women. Carrie is filled with bitterness and frustration, feeling wronged, but Cameron's success and her own fall from grace. She internally rages against the idea that Cameron, whom she once bullied and looked down upon, now holds a position of power and respect. Despite this, Carrie is forced to maintain a polite exterior, unable to express her true feelings due to the social expectations and the fear of consequences from Mr. Lamb. As the chapter concludes, it becomes clear that the past is far from forgotten, and the rivalry between Carrie and Cameron is still very much alive. The encounter at the banquet is more than just a casual conversation. It is a reminder of the shifting tides of power and the unresolved animosities that continue to simmer beneath the surface.